In 2023, the brand new Taiwanese super horror ghost film Zhong Yuan will be released. It is appropriate for pals who enjoy horror films. 6 short stories make up the film, which primarily tells the weird and horror tales heard at the Ghost Festival. A woman traveling to work is the subject of the first story. Suddenly, her cell phone stepped on some unburned paper money that adhered like adhesive to the sole of her foot. On the side of the road, she discovered an elderly woman burning river money. She blamed the elderly woman and placed the pieces on the fire tent. It was all right, but when he walked away, he gave back a sentence. He was unaware that the elderly woman was dead at night. Although he was aware that it was the Central Plains Festival, he continued to work overtime until late at night and did not go for home early. The following day, it turned out, he was going to submit in the work to his supervisor. The woman began to leap just as he was considering the next move. The security officer really contacted him at 12 p.m. to inquire whether he wanted to lock the door into the system. The woman would lock it herself when he departed, so there was no need to wait until he finished his duties. She then hung up and went back to work on the copy, when Jing disappeared just as he was struggling to compose the following section. Since the file alarm only activated when someone entered or exited, it was automatically relocated out, and when the user glanced around, no one was present. Curiously, he approached to make sure, but nothing was there. He believed there was a glitch that had locked the system. I walked back to my desk and carried on working, but the door alarm sounded once again. The door is locked this time, and it has been fully begun. The woman quickly rushed to check, but she had just locked it. The control surface was oddly dispersed at this moment. Thinking the security officer was playing a prank, the woman contacted him and reprimanded him, stating, "I locked the door myself, and you guys opened and locked it at the same time." But what the security guy said next baffled her. According to the security guard, none of them had moved the door, and the lady was unaware that she was under the influence of a malevolent spirit at the time. The prosecution screen began flashing once more as soon as I took a seat. By this point in the night, it was 12:18. He turned to check behind him when he heard a sharp sound, but nothing was there. Thinking she was worrying too much, the woman resumed her job, but just now. "Tonight, you are." Then the lights went out, and he hurriedly gathered his belongings and got ready to go. As he approached the door to unlock it, he noticed the morning's shattered piece of paper lingering beneath his feet. Before he could regain consciousness, he glanced up to saw a very frightening female ghost standing on the glass door. She had a large mouth and exposed stones. He skillfully held her head directly. Never consume anything associated with a deceased person, as the proverb says. To burn incense for her deceased brother, the widow brought her 2 boys. The mischievous oldest kid grabbed a bag of goodies and tried to leave as my mother came in. "All right," responded the second son quickly, "you can't steal from your brothers." However, as soon as he opened the bag, the oldest son began to smell the treats and refused to believe it. He never had time to eat in private, even when the other youngster was observing his lips. Nightfall soon followed. A large batch of curry rice was prepared by his mother. Like a famished ghost reincarnated, the oldest child devoured 3 bowls of food in large mouthfuls without raising any red flags. Even Longzi's pug was startled by this strange spectacle. The mother hurried to check what was going on after cleaning up the dinner and washing her toys and those of the second kid. The oldest child continued to eat. When my mother turned around, he really grabbed the wolf with his hands after I took the whistle away from him and urged him to stop eating. When my mother saw this scene, she was astonished. "Stop eating. After you pick it up, what will you do? Go take a shower." The uncle was unaware that his oldest son was haunted by a ghost and had starved to death. The mother heard a commotion in the living room in the middle of the night. She grabbed a fire poker and cautiously made her way to the living room because she believed someone had broken into the house. Food was all over the floor and the refrigerator had been opened. As he hurried to the living room, he noticed that the oldest son was searching for a ghost. Never blowing the mask at night is the subject of the third narrative. After leaving work, this man was going to go on a date when he unexpectedly got a call from his supervisor informing him of a rise and promotion. He began blowing the mask because he was so thrilled. He heard someone blowing the same mask as him when he was stooping to pick up a person on the ground. He noticed a person as he looked around. Without giving it much consideration, he got ready to head home since he believed someone was copying him. However, he heard laughing coming from behind him once again as he wanted to find out who was copying him, so he instantly hid behind the address. It was awful what he witnessed. The automobile was plainly empty, but then someone stepped out. He fled and immediately hid behind the exit door since he was so terrified. 4 individuals who bore a striking resemblance to him were seen through the gap in the door. Not doing laundry in the middle of the night is the subject of the 4th narrative. After washing his clothing, one student, Zhong Yuan, came across an odd object. He got a towel and went to take a shower because he was so uncomfortable lying on the bed. I noticed a girl washing laundry with unkempt hair. Like me, he remained up late washing clothes, but the girl never returned. He cleansed his entire body in the lavatory. After returning to the dorm, he slept for less than 30 minutes. He went to the bathroom to take a shower because his body was damp once more. But he was unaware that a female spirit was following him across the hallway. Thinking it was 3 in the morning, he stepped in without giving it any thought and even stroked the girl's back when he saw that she was was still pulling clothing and washing clothes there. I repeated this practice all night long since, aside from the blood stains, my body was still itching after rinsing off the alcohol. It was soon morning after the messy-haired girl had also spent the entire night washing clothing. He admitted to his pals that he cleansed his body over 10 times and was unsure of what he had eaten the night before. Zuku and his 2 roommates, however, claimed that he never left his bed after cleaning his clothing in the morning and evening. Another said that he never saw him wake up while playing games all night. What was happening? As he put on his contact lenses, he noticed a female ghost standing behind him, but he was still thinking about what had happened the night before when he came to clean his teeth. The 6th story, never book a room at the end of the hallway while you're staying at a hotel. 2 females entered the room. The white girl hurried in to shower, while the yellow girl slammed against the head of the bed with such force that she smashed a bar above the mirror before falling onto the bed. She may have fallen asleep too soon because she was too exhausted. How long he was, I don't know. The girl in white was the one who did it. Brother Song was frightened by this spectacle. They soon cleaned up and went to sleep. The hotel started to transform at this point. The sleeping girl in white was gone when she felt the need to use the loo after peeing. He made many calls, but nobody picked up. He heard a noise coming from the toilet at that very moment. He opened the door to see what time it was, thinking someone was using the loo inside. There was blood in the bathtub, and many spirits were consuming the blood. You should never rush around on the night of the Lantern Festival, according to the 6th story. The girl's buddy called to warn her not to go to work at 4 in the morning. The girl didn't believe it, so she set the alarm clock and went to bed, but shortly after she dozed off, the clock rang. This is because tonight is the Ghost Festival. He hurried to his feet, cleaned his face and teeth, changed into his clothing, and left. Fortunately, the van driver was waiting for her every day, even if there was nobody on the street at the moment. As usual, she greeted the driver, but oddly, he remained silent today. After putting on her headphones and getting ready to listen to music, the girl discovered that it was only 3:30 when she checked her phone. Was the alarm set incorrectly by her? That isn't feasible. He contacted his lover after seeing that this was not the best method to work after looking up. The situation deteriorated to the point that no one picked up the phone, and the automobile suddenly halted. The Zhongyuan Festival, a celebration for the living to honor the deceased, takes place on July 15th. It is best to trust in what our elders have taught us, since legend has it that on this day, the gates of hell will open wide. See you tomorrow.